Am I wasting my life? I think about it a lot lately. I'm 32 now, and some days it feels like I blinked and somehow everyone else got ahead. People my age are buying houses, posting engagement photos, talking about promotions. And I'm just here, staring at my phone, trying to make sense of my next step. It's not that I'm unhappy. It's more like I'm in this strange middle zone, where life keeps moving, but I'm not sure if I'm moving with it. When I was 18, I had this image of what my life would look like. By 25, I'd have a good job, my own place, maybe even a little stability. Instead, I'm juggling bills, working jobs I don't care about, and wondering if all this effort is supposed to feel like progress. Some days I feel proud of myself. Other days I feel like I'm just wasting time. I've quit jobs that drained me, taken ones that paid less but gave me peace, and still ended up questioning if I made the right choice. Everyone keeps saying, "You're still young, you'll figure it out." But it's hard to believe that when it already feels like I'm supposed to have everything figured out by now. I moved back home for a while. Told myself it was temporary. Rent's crazy, job market's slow. You know how it is. But part of me also just didn't want to be alone. My mom doesn't judge me for it. She's actually one of the few people who understands. We talk, laugh, argue about small things. And sometimes I think maybe that's not such a bad way to live. I don't have a girlfriend. Haven't for a while. And it's not like I haven't met people, I just can't seem to connect lately. Everyone's either moving too fast or too scared to feel anything real. And honestly, so am I. Sometimes I wonder if I've become too used to being alone. Like I built this life that's quiet, but maybe a little too quiet. I see my colleagues my age settling down, planning weddings, traveling together. And I tell myself I'm happy for them, and I am. But sometimes it stings a little. There's this part of me that still wants someone to come home to, someone who gets the silence. But then I think, I barely know where my own life's going. How could I bring someone else into that? So I wait. Not because I'm picky, just because I'd rather be alone than halfway loved by someone who doesn't really see me. I see my friends less now. Not because I don't care, but because we're all busy pretending we've got our lives together. They talk about mortgages, kids, jobs, plans, and I sit there, smiling, nodding along like I'm part of the same conversation. But half the time I feel like I'm watching life happen through glass. They seem settled, like they found the chapter I somehow skip. Sometimes I leave those hangouts feeling lighter and sometimes heavier. Not because of jealousy, just this quiet awareness that we're not in the same place anymore. It's strange how friendship changes. You grow up together, but life keeps splitting you in different directions. And even when we meet, the jokes are the same, the laughter's the same, but something's missing. Maybe that's part of getting older too. You start realizing not everyone you love is meant to walk beside you forever. Some just stay long enough to remind you of who you used to be. Still, when it's quiet at night, that thought always creeps in. What am I even doing? I used to think success meant hitting big goals, buying things, making money. But lately I've been realizing maybe success is just finding reasons to keep going. I've learned that not every season of life has to be loud. Some of them are quiet on purpose, to make you listen to yourself. There are days where I feel stuck. And then I remember that 5 years ago, I was praying for the things I have now. My own car, a job that pays the bills, time to hit the gym, and a little bit of freedom. Back then, I just wanted peace. Now I have it. But peace is strange. When life slows down, the noise in your head gets louder. You start thinking about what could have been, who you used to be, and whether you've done enough to be proud of yourself. I scroll through old photos sometimes. The version of me that smiled more, had fewer worries, bigger dreams. And I wonder when that started to fade. Maybe it's part of growing up. You stop chasing the big picture and start trying to survive the little ones. Rent, work, groceries, sleep, repeat. I used to measure my life by achievements. Now I measure it by small things, like the days my anxiety's quiet, or mornings when the sunlight feels warm instead of blinding. There's a quiet kind of authority that comes with being 32. You've lived enough to know how hard it gets, but you're still young enough to hope it gets better. I've learned that nobody really has it figured out. Some people are just better at pretending. I've learned that scrolling through other people's success stories can make you forget your own. I've learned that you can outgrow friends without either of you being wrong. And that sometimes, peace looks like loneliness until you get used to it. I used to think I needed to be ahead. Now I just want to feel okay. I want mornings where I don't wake up panicking. Evenings where I can breathe without feeling guilty for not being productive. Maybe I'm not where I thought I'd be, but I'm not who I used to be either. And that counts for something. There's a part of me that still believes everything I've done, all the waiting, all the mistakes, is leading somewhere. I just don't know where yet. Maybe that's what your 30s really are. The part of life where you stop pretending to have a map and finally admit you're figuring it out as you go. Some days I feel like I'm wasting my life. Other days I think maybe this is life. Messy, slow, uncertain, and full of quiet moments that only make sense later. I don't have a plan right now. Just a little hope, a few goals, and a lot of questions that keep me awake. But maybe that's enough. Because at the end of the day, I'm still here. Still trying. Still figuring it out. And maybe, am I wasting my life?